All right, let's get started. Today, I'm picking up with the big refactor that I started yesterday, and this is just going to be a marathon if it has to. I'm going until it's done. As a reminder, uh, we are starting off here at the mrforth.com/membership page, where you could become a supporter or a member if you check out the perks here and decide you might like that. You can also do it on a yearly basis or a monthly basis, and all that money goes to keeping the lab going so I can keep working on projects like this, and you earn credits as you do it, as it says right here, to buy things that come out, and things probably will come out. We are moving towards finishing a project in the next few weeks, I think, based on how things are going with this deep dive. There might actually be something to purchase with those credits within the next couple months, I'm thinking. So think about it, see if you want to support, and with that, let's get into this coding. So because this is a refactor and I'm halfway through, I'm really in a little bit of danger here. This is hard mode, you know, turned up to 11 today. I am starting to lose track of what is and isn't finished in the refactor, and it's continuing to be difficult to find little bite-sized chunks, and there's just so many of them. I think last time I switched over to the V layout section, if I remember correctly, we were able to generate, we were able to, what is this? What are we running? Project forcoder. These should tell you something stupid about forcoders. It doesn't tell you what it ran. This says compilation, but where's the information about which command it ran? Stupid forcoder. Speaking of stupid forcoder, join me for Forcoder Friday tomorrow at this time. But anyways, link gen. I'm gonna just write this down real quick. So when I F3, I'm getting that. Cool. Distraction. Okay. Interesting. Think about that some other time. So we're compiling. You know, I feel like since I'm getting distracted, that's a good sign I need music. Okay, yeah. So it can generate the object file, it can link it, it can run the program, that all works. So what we need to do is figure out what is left over that is corrupt and try to get rid of it. Can we get rid of the whole layout system now? The old layout system, can it go away? Right, this is what we ran into before. This function here, which we're currently not using, requires voff from label. code that I need to keep, but that is in the way. Goes right there. Bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. Right. Right. Alright, everything's still working. But we weren't really using base relocations before. Knighton asks, what does the keyword function do? So function is declared here in my little personal keywords file. This is a compile time symbol. This is the library, the base library. I guess you'd call it keyword or function marking, symbol marking, word compile time, which in C means static. So function is just a static. I like it because I like, for instance, in my headers that I can see all of these things declared that way together. So when the time comes to make this library shared, or if this code becomes a library, I should say, and it becomes shared, then I'll change these out because these are my personal keywords. And so right now I've just marked everything as function to keep my life simple, but I'll have to make some decisions about like, how do I want to mark these? Do I want the generator library to have its own keywords? Do I want to use the base layer keywords? Do I need to mark some functions as local and not? But while I'm developing, I'm not doing anything fancy with linking it yet. So I can just get away with my personal keyword, which is static, to reiterate. All right. Okay. Okay. So I think this and below are kind of just trivial section filler stuff. This and this and this and this and this are the sort of complex core stuff that might still be kind of off. I'm specifically concerned about this one, but let me also just look through to-dos here. Out. Still got to do more on symbols. Right. Okay. right. Let's try something like that. Okay. Okay. That all looks right. So... Okay, so I think the most important thing right now is to get the exe generator back up and running. I'm currently generating an object file, but I need to make sure that I can still generate an exe file as well. So, yeah, that's all fine. So that's going to mean implementing PE header bake, which is going to take a bit of time. I need to come down here and rescue this old code. Hey, Tool. It's going pretty well. I am trying to get this whole refactor finished today. There's a lot of stuff in flight still, and I want to try to get it all resolved so it doesn't become an unending hairy mess here. I think it'll be all right. I think it's coming together. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna fill this based on what we have here. DOS header we put onto the block. Nice. PE signature. We're close. Got some compilation errors to work through here, and then I think maybe we can generate EXEs again. Maybe. Although the EXE we're generating is probably not going to come out right, since we have something here that doesn't quite work. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you. Right, so it's not going to be able to... Hey... image config entry point label. All right. So that's a bunch of big changes. Let's see. um, let's see. So we don't have. Let's work on the image config type a little bit more. We got the data directories. We also need the entry point. Range Bomber asks, what's your typing speed, by the way? I actually don't know. Although I think if you were to put me in front of like an English prompt to test my typing speed, it probably wouldn't be that high compared to sort of the same thing you might get for programming. Like my flow, and some of the times my programming flow is absurdly fast. And, you know, I know all of my... I'm really good with like power editing tricks and stuff like that, especially because I'm in 4Coder. But if you just talk like raw typing speed, entering new data, it's probably not that fast. It's probably like 60, 70 words per minute. Maybe 50. You know, I'm also a sloppy typer, which is why having power editing is helpful. But we can find out sometime. Maybe if we wrap this up soon and early enough, I'll go take a speed typing test. That could be fun. Alright, well, we're gonna go find out if I have extra time. And then I'll have an answer to your question. It'd be interesting if there was a programming typing speed test as well, because I'd probably do better on that one. You know, people who are good at typing English aren't necessarily used to typing like the underscore on your identifier, which I can do pretty... I am just sloppy though, do you see that? Anyway. Okay, we're gonna set some defaults. There we go. Okay, so how are we doing? We've got an entry point. Generated exe should look like that. That doesn't work. Okay, cool. So we're gonna need a better text section, but we're also going to need to figure out what is not rendering properly here. So we'll just leave that for now. Let's try to figure out why the exe isn't coming out nicely. Let's look at the exe with our eyes, maybe? Maybe we will just spot the problem here, or maybe the parser here will tell us what happened. Okay, so the parser says it's good. We got here a DOS section header, PE signature. Right here we've got the header. We got a text section. Oh, you know what? This text section is not actually aligned. Oh no, this is... Where are the sections? You know, I add a text section. Should be dropping off all the sections, and the image header bake should be laying those sections out with virtual alignment and file alignment the whole way through. So it should... It seems like it should work. Okay, so at least do this. Boom, boom, okay. Run that to completion just to make sure I'm not crazy. Yes, reload it. Okay, so the text section, when we look at the section table, text, it says the putter to raw data is at 512. And 512 should be OX200, right? Hex 200. We don't have a hex 200. I think this is our text section data, and it's getting dropped off just right there. So it's not getting the alignment it's supposed to get. And so the question is, why? Let's look at header and layout. So let's look at this loop here. V off cursor 4096, F off cursor 512. So it says that. Sets the layout section to 512, bumps things up, and it's done. No, it's not at the right spot. 200 would appear right here, right? So the digits, the left column here is all of the stuff that has a smallest digit of 0. So this is 1F8, right? 1F8. So it should be 8 bytes farther up. And then it should also be padded out to the full size, which it isn't. So I gotta fix that too. And also, I'm realizing all the stats in this header are wrong. Like, we don't have the image size, we don't have the entry point. Or we might have the entry point, but like some of the stats are wrong. Because I didn't actually go back and implement that part yet. You know, this bit, we need to actually do that. You're good, you're good. Oh, bum bum bum. So it's not there. Let's just skip to the end. It must be down here. When we go to put that section down, we look at this section, we go, where's the f off you want? 512, and we do fill to size. And so target size, oh, nope, this is backwards. The if is backwards, 208. If total size of the block is less than the target size, then you do total size minus target size. You do target size minus total size. That's backwards too. And then you get your fill size, and then you go. Okay. So run that again. All right, run it over here. How did we end up screwed here? Alright, so we got a massive total size somewhere along the way. That shouldn't have happened. It's probably related to this, so let's go and check that out. We're trying to get to a target size of 512. The total size we have right now is too small by 8 bytes. Yep, that makes sense. So target size minus total size leaves us with target size 512, total size 504, fill size 512 minus 504. You wrapped? So U32. Total size. What? What am I missing? Target size minus block. Total size should be 8. Fill size is okay. Well, maybe I just didn't rebuild. There we go. Okay. Alright, yes, load it up. Rerun the parse. And now this looks at 512. And this is at 512, contains 7 bytes. So we're getting there. We're getting there. The doesn't work yet. Not surprising. It needs to actually be able to parse that section out successfully for it to work, so Maybe we could do... We've got the file size here. We can just add in one more. Okay, I think this is good enough, but I need to go and fill these F sizes when we generate the layout section. So this one is for the COFF header file, and the COFF file, the object file version. We don't need that to have any aligning or padding, but this one is going to be the aligned block size minus block size. That should do a good thing, right? Run the generator. Runs to completion. F5. Still can't run this program yet, but let's see how close we are. So that's better. If I rerun the parse now, we still don't recognize the size of raw data. So I think it needs to stop putting block size there. I think it needs to do block size plus F size padding, or even aligned block size, right? Or wait, no, that's not it. It's that it needs to do F size equals when we are going to fill out the real section table. Yeah, we want to add in F size padding to the F size. Like this. Hey, there we go. Ooh, hello, welcome raiders. I am doing a lot of refactoring stuff today and trying to get my exe generator to work again. All right, so the section table now says, ooh, the size of raw data looks wrong. That should be a multiple of 512. How is it not? I'm not understanding. Let me go. Take take a closer look at this. Aligned block size is 512, so block size was 7. We had that. F size padding is 505. So F size here, oh, I added it in twice, I guess. Yeah, that's not what I meant to do. Yes. Reparse. And now we're looking at the position 512. And it still doesn't give me the sections for some reason, which I find weird. Something's off. Because it's not, it shouldn't be saying freeform section right there. Pointer to raw data, 512. It seems to think that, yeah, it seems to think that the section, the text section begins right here, which it should not be thinking. The section table doesn't say that. So what's going on here? We get the PE signature. Architecture, number of sections, 1 section. Time and date stamp. No symbol table, no symbols. Freeforms, size of optional header 240. Size of stack reserve. Don't know why we're getting zeros here. Size of stack reserve is all of this. And this, why is that 5 bytes? I don't know. Size of stack commit. Size of heap reserve. Heap commit. Post-loading debugger, pre-start breakpoint. I don't even know what those are from. And then we get the number of RVAs and sizes at 16. And they're all right here, RVAs and sizes. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Text section header. The text section header says it starts at 512 and has 512 bytes. But for some reason the parser is saying it starts at 0. Right, that's the weird thing. So what did I miss? Weirdly, it's not marked as readable data. It says it contains code. But it's missing everything else. Yeah, all of these are set right here. Okay. Okay. I'm a little bit stumped on why it would do that. Like, what's the difference? I think I need to look at like mini exe in comparison. Yes, parse it. Let's diff mini exe against generated exe. 3C, what's the difference there? COFF header pointer 176. C8 B0, so C8 is saying right there. This one is saying right here. What on earth am I missing? What's different? What's really blowing my mind is this says pointer to raw data 512 right here, and it parsed that, but for some reason it thinks the text section begins at 0. And I just don't get how that's happening. I think the only way I'm going to be able to figure out is if I try to make these match more again. That's weird. There we go. Yes, reload generated exe. Reparse it. Redo the diff. Okay, so our next difference here is at B6. Number of sections 3 versus 1. Fair enough. Time and date stamp. Fair enough. Number of symbols they agree on. So what's this one? CA. Major link version versus CA. BA. No, B6. No. I'm looking for CA. Yeah, that's link version stuff. Okay, so the next thing that's not the same here is I haven't filled in the stats. Let's go do that. Okay, section flags. What do we got? We're looking for contains code. So if we find one that contains code, then the total size of text plus equals the layout section f size plus layout section f size padding. Alright, so I can take the one pass last V off on each section and make that the thing, but only if the V size is greater than 0. Rerun this. I doubt this will fix the issue I was having. Oh, it does. Fascinating. I don't know why the stats needed to be correct just to make it align properly. I also don't know why it kind of looks like it still doesn't align properly. It should be at 200. The section table says 512, which is hex 200. Yet we're still getting this data section beginning a little bit early, according to the parse. Why do you think that the text section begins at 1E0? I do not know. Still don't know why the flags are wrong either. So let's see. The flags being wrong is definitely code in the generator. This, though, this is strange. B0, yeah, that's what happens here. Mysterious. It could be the parser in this imhex that's funky, but I've never seen it be so off before. I wish I could figure out how to debug it a little better. Maybe this is about the size of the headers or something. $480. So where is 480? That's at 1E0. So you know what that right there sounds like? That could be the issue. It's using the size of the header to pack that out, and the headers size here might not be quite right. I might want to align that up to the file alignment or something like that. We could also say there's really only a need to do it once. There we go. So now it's finding that. For whatever reason, it's not using the section table to find the sections. It's just assuming they're packed, which is true. They're supposed to be if it's a valid executable file, but it's also weird that it doesn't somehow indicate that it's not using the pointer that's in the file, but just a different rule. I don't know. It's a little frustrating. Figured it out though. Let's do one other test. Does it execute? It executes without saying that it's invalid, which is an unnice step forward. We're going to run assemble mini obj, and then we're going to run link mini obj like this. Okay, now if we look at mini exe, we'll see a text section. Reparse, please. There we go. See a text section with this code in it. Okay. Something's off. So let's see. Address of entry point is wrong. Okay. The entry point is not 0. Now, I'm assuming what's happening here is... yeah, it's not inside of a file yet. So we need to go fix that to do. The big one that I left right here. This isn't going to work. Okay. So the goal here is to use, instead of off relative to root, because this function doesn't actually make any sense as a concept, because if we don't know the root already, then we might not have attached the block to the tree that we're trying to measure it within. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're not going to look at the block f off and convert it to a v off. We're going to look for which section this block is actually attached to. And for now, we're going to do that in the dumbest possible way, which is we're going to scan all of the sections. I'm going to leave a little acceleration. Accelerator for this, but for now, layout section. That's good. Now what we have to do is we have to get this current block that we've got here. This is where this is going to be a rather slow and painful process. Trying to think if there's one way or the other that goes faster. We'll see. Section block by grabbing the block out of that section, and then we're going to do block I equals block. Block I does not equal 0. Block I equals block I parent. If block I turns out to be section block, then hit, break, and hit will rename to section contains block. Okay. And then if the section contains the block, this section here becomes interesting to us. We now want to do section contains block. Then our result is the layout section voff plus the block off relative to ancestor layout section block block off plus block off v layout v off from block. There we go. Yes, reload that, reparse it, and our COFF header now says address of entry point 4096. We run it. No dice. Okay. I'm curious to see if we can run it in Remedy now. Maybe that will give us more information if it's prepared to go. If it's prepared to go and actually work here. Generated exe F10. I don't entirely know what's happening. F10. It doesn't. Oh, you know what might be happening is that flags bug could be an issue. Let's see if we can track that down. So the flags that we're passing to .text are right here. So the flags here contain those 3 different bits. Those get set there. So we have the flags. What happens? Wait, your flags are 32 bits. These flags, what? What am I missing? Section flags X. Why is this one a short and this one's an int? Section flags, there we go. Section flags. Section flags. Okay, that's better. Build that. Say yes to that. And now, section table, text section, characteristics, execute, read, contains code. Okay, that might be better. What happens if I try to run now? That looks like it's probably right. Let's take a quick look here. 1020103. Yep, that seems right. So I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I think we're done. I think that was everything that I needed to do for today. Maybe. Well, let me take a break and come back with fresh eyes. Make sure I didn't skip over any other important things that are still lingering. But we can generate EXEs again. We can generate object files that link properly. So all of that's working, which means the refactor is close to done. But there might be a few more passes that I want to do, and I kind of want to keep going today until I feel very settled with it. So I'm going to take my break, and then we'll probably go for a bonus hour today, at the very least. Very good. All right, 5 minutes starting now. Okay. Right. Okay, we can do something about this probably. Huh. So, when we apply patches, we kind of need to know the base v-adder. For these kinds of addresses. And, well, okay. I think we've used that before is the thing. Like, I do think that's real. I do think we actually want it. So I could pass it down. The thing is, data apply patches works both in image and object file land, but we only have a base v-adder in image file land. So we have the situation where this kind of depends on something in an unconditional way that is only conditionally actually available to the caller. And so we want it to be modified so that it is optional. If I just say, hey, give me the image config, then the problem is we don't have an image config half the time, but that could just be a null, and then that's fine. There's no way that it would really make sense to put that in sooner. And the layout could contain it. You know? Like this. It's a little bit extra. But it makes some sense, because this is how we get v-offs for everything when there are v-offs. And so this would be just what you add in to get v-adders. So maybe we do it that way. Okay. Looks good. Okay. I think that's it. Let me think. We're now building the data or the full file out of a block system. We're able to build sections loose, the section list freely without having to declare the count. We have, instead of header info, we have obj config and image config. But we're able to load those up with data and then pass them in here to get a virtual layout and a header block in one case or the other. We're able to take that and the block. Yeah, we have that stuff. Yeah, voff from block, voff from label, that's all working. Those exist. The patch is in good shape. And the fact, oh yeah, okay, so that's it. Like, we did it. Let's see if there are any other pieces of totally dead code sitting around. I don't see any. I guess some final touches. Let's switch from naming it VLayout back to layout now that we're done with the transition to the new layout system. Cool. That's it. I think we did it. So the refactor is a success. I can now imagine that it'll be easier to do things like, you know, I have these to-dos here about the timestamp and the machine type and flags, and now I actually have a config spot where it makes sense to load that information up. So that'll be better. I've got the ability to build the data structure of the file, like assemble it, with a lot more freedom to put data in there that does not fall inside of one of the like sections. You know, the PE COFF stuff is all about these sections, and things are originally really tied to attaching some data to each section. And now when we go to do relocations, the COFF relocations for our object file generator, we're finding we want to put some data outside of the sections, and we should be able to do that more easily now. So we can get back onto doing COFF relocations and on top of this new system. And I also feel like it's nice to get off that problem where the layout needed to have a count up front. I'm glad to be done with that. So let's, as a final step, let's get things rearranged once again for doing object file version. Image is 0. Da, da. Very good, very good. All right, so mini asm should be some long name with RCX, add RAX, RDX, ret, build fly. Yeah, here we are talking about this again. Very good. Generate link. That was successful. Dump the new object file. Looks good. Run it. 25. Okay, that's everything. We're back to where we started before the refactor in terms of features, and the code seems to be cleaned up from the refactor. So that's it. That's how you do a big long refactor. Took me 2 days on stream plus a little bit in between, and now we're all set up. Tomorrow is Friday, so we're doing 4Coder Friday at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to be looking at some of the code and talking about what I like or don't like. Last time we did the build system, and I think tomorrow I'm going to be talking a lot more about some of the side programs that come with it. I was running into this. Actually, I don't know if I've showed this off on stream yet. So I updated the 4Coder website. So in theory, yeah, HTTPS works now. The links are updated. So I haven't updated the 4Coder website in years, but like it's all cleaned up now. The contact information is better. Most of it's the same. Like the still documentation is still up and all that. So 4Coder.net has been updated just a little bit. And in the process, I found more problems. So I'm going to go and talk about just the problems with how I maintained the 4Coder website and how that interconnected with the codebase. It'll be an interesting conversation to talk about why codebases matter and why doing things in codebases in some ways is worse than others. So you can come check that out. Starting next week on Monday, we will pick up from where we just left off here and get back to those COFF relocations. I think one more week of building out features on the object file stuff, and then we'll be able to talk about maybe building some tools. While I'm at it, there's some... That's done. Don't assume attached blocks are in layout sections. Use block directly for fine. Yeah, we just did all of that. Haven't done any of these. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, we're close to being able to do this first little tool. So I think we're within a week or two of that. So look forward to that. Also keep in mind, I have... So next week, we'll be doing a regular week. But the week after that is the Handmade Network's Wheel Reinvention Jam. And I'll be streaming 7 days straight, some jam project. So the week after next, Handmade Wheel Reinvention Jam. Look forward to that too. And with that... your final reminder is that I am counting on anyone who likes what I'm doing and who has the ability to pitch in to consider going to mrforth.com/membership and becoming a supporter or member to keep these things going and earn a bunch of cool perks along the way for yourself. And with that, I thank you for checking out what I'm doing, and I'll see you around the internet. Bye.